you have to do is you have to calibrate it to some specific amount of powder, because if you put too much powder in, it can be dangerous. You can get overpressure in your cases, and at the best case scenario, you crack your case. In the worst case scenario, you blow up your gun or something like that. So it's really crucial that you have the right amount of powder, and not only that, but you keep a record of the different amounts of powder that you use and what works the best. Another pretty crucial thing is this thing right here. It's just a dial caliper. It measures. Let me show you how it works. These are pretty self-explanatory. You see in the back because it's my left hand, but it basically just measures the distance. You can see the dial turns there, and it gives you a measurement in thousandths of inches, which are usually what you want to measure in. These right here are just some basic wrenches that come with the press, and you use them to make adjustments to your dies. What this is a primer pickup tube. So you have to fill this primer tube before you start reloading. And the way that you do it is you use this primer pickup tube. You basically just pick them up off your primer tray like this, and then you flip it around. You put it up here, and you pull that pin out, and they fill up the primer pickup tube. One thing I didn't talk about was what this blue thing was. It's basically this plastic rod just rides the primers down, and then when you get low on primers, just the weight of that rod will push that little switch in and tell you that you're almost out of primers, because you don't want to be putting powder in a case that doesn't have a primer in it, because it'll get all over the place. And this tube is how you fill up the primer tube. This thing I think is kind of neat idea. It's called a primer flip tray. So there's a couple primers in there, but basically you have to show you how this works. You have to pick them up in the right orientation, and so this allows you to pick a bunch of them up, flip them around, and then pick the other ones up. I just kind of keep them in there when I'm not reloading. Those, pretty self-explanatory, just safety glasses. In the thousands of rounds I've reloaded on this, I've never once had a primer detonation or anything really unsafe happen. But, in the off chance that something did happen, I wear those glasses because, I'd rather look like a dork for a couple hours a day than lose my eyesight because a primer, blew something into my eye or something. Let's see, up here I just have an assortment of, these are all just empty brass. This shows a little bit better. These are just, casings. The reason these are separated is because, let me get that other one and I can show you. You'll notice one's kind of a silver color and the other one's kind of a brass color. The silver one's what's called a nickel-plated casing, and the nickel plating can flake off, and I happen to be using carbide dies, and the nickel plating is hard enough to where it'll scratch up and damage the inside of my die. So I really don't reload nickel plated casings. I just keep them and give them to people, or sometimes people will offer me a couple bucks for them. So I just do that. I have like a couple of them laying around. These are just spare 45. Right now I'm reloading 38 and 45 auto, so I just have, these are pretty much all full of brass that I really have to get some new supplies. I'm kind of out right now, which is why usually this thing is full of bullets, and there's like a bunch of assembled rounds in here that I haven't cleaned up yet. Right here we have, this is just case lube. With the nice thing about carbide dies is the carbide is kind of self-lubricating, and so you don't have to use case lube, but I do anyway, just to kind of be nice to my dies. If you treat them nice, they'll last you forever, basically. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to be doing another couple videos on this. Hopefully with a tripod to kind of minimize the shaky cam. But I really want to show the operation of this, because it's really kind of neat how how it, goes through the mechanical process of assembling a round. And you can save, you wouldn't believe how much money you can save by reloading like this. I've actually probably paid for the cost of all this stuff maybe twice over in a couple thousand rounds in assembling my own ammunition versus buying retail ammunition. And it's kind of shocking, but you can actually get better quality ammunition doing it yourself, and the reason is you can tailor it to your specific needs. And I know quite a bit of competition guys, and they all assemble their own ammunition. They very rarely shoot, store-bought ammunition, and if they do, it's just, for practice or that with their friends. So that's kind of my setup. I'm gonna probably edit this video down a little bit. I'm not a hunter. I'm not into hunting. I'm just a target shooter. And for me, something like this is just a great way to keep my costs low. I can probably assemble a bullet for, maybe 4 to 6 cents, whereas purchasing it, it'd be, maybe 8 to 12 cents or more, depending on the particular round. Right now, everything's really expensive due to the war. So it's really nice to kind of do it myself. I'm an engineer, so I like doing it myself. There's just one last final shot of what I actually shoot right now. My HK, I really keep my HK really clean. My other pistol needs a good cleaning. But yeah, so I'm going to call it good. I'm going to get this edited down, and if you have any questions, go ahead and give me a message. I like helping people out with this stuff. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be seeing you.